This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. We are here in Liverpool and I'm joined by Jack Catterall, of all people. Jack, firstly, how are you?
Very well, thank you. All good. Come up here to support the fellow fighters and yeah, looking forward to Saturday. Come up, support the weigh-ins, see what it's all about and get a buzz for tomorrow night.
I was going to say, obviously, off the top of my head, there's nobody who's kind of in the gym who is fighting on this card. So who in particular are you here to maybe see or looking forward to seeing in the ring tomorrow?
You know, me, strength coach, Johnny Reynolds, also has Tasha and Liam, and quite a few other fighters in the gym. So I'm often crossing paths with them, bumping into them, and followed the careers for quite some time. Fought on a few of Liam's undercards, supported Tasha. So I'm excited to see them two tomorrow.
What do you make of that headline event, Liam Smith and Smith-Mwakinyo? Hassan will be remembered from his shock win against Sam Eggington 4 or 5 years ago now. So what are you expecting in that headline event?
I'm expecting a good fight. I fully believe Liam will go out there and put a statement on. I feel like he's had the momentum now and he's on a roll. And I think he said it before, this sets him up for some big fights.
Liam obviously is looking towards a Chris Eubank Jr. fight or towards world honours. What would you make of Liam's chances in a bout with Eubank Jr.?
I'd fancy Liam to do it. I think it's a big fight. It's a tough fight, but I think with the momentum he's had and the experience he's gained, I'd fancy Liam for that fight.
Jack, obviously moving away from those little bits and pieces on this card, what is happening with yourself? Now, obviously everybody's waiting on an announcement for your rematch with Josh Taylor. Seems to be that it will happen. He's just kind of waiting for that official confirmation. So what can you fill us in on?
Yeah, so I put myself in a great position now with Boxer, with Ben and Sky. Josh has vacated 3 of the 4 belts. I don't see anything stopping the fight happening now. I certainly want the fight. I think Josh wants the fight as well. He's made that public. He's not moved up to 147. He wants to try and beat me. I think we're almost there. I think the conversations have been going on. We're closing in. That fight can be made. Brilliant. I'm excited. Failing that, there is other options now. We've signed with Sky and Boxer to be involved in big fights now. I think me and Josh is a big fight, again domestically. Be there only 1 world title on the line, it still sells out an arena, so that'd be nice to get that on.
What's currently the hold-up with the fight, Jack?
Josh Taylor. No, I don't think there is a hold-up. I think Top Rank and Sky are negotiating. I've done what I've needed to do, put myself in a position for the fight. I think Josh has done what he's needed to do in vacating the belt, so I don't think there's anything stopping the fight happening now.
You mentioned obviously Josh vacating the titles. Was that a surprise to you? Obviously on the back of your fight there was a lot of talk of him moving up to 147, testing the waters there. Is it a surprise to you he's obviously opted against that and he's going to hopefully share the ring with you for a second time?
No, it's not surprised me. I think there were certainly fights for him at 147. How interested he'd have been in them fights that are offered. I don't believe any of the top 10 names would have been mentioned. So he's kind of like a catch-22 position. Again, there's no other fights at 140 for him really. And I believe everything happens for a reason. It's come back now, and I do believe we'll fight this year.
Obviously last time out you fought in Scotland. Is that something, we haven't had a location announced, but is it something which you're against now? Would you still be up for travelling up to Scotland to rematch him?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have the fight in Manchester. I think I went up there last time, I boxed Josh in his back garden, and I think he should show the same respect and come to Manchester. He believes he beat me, I believe I beat him. We know how that unfolded. I think he should try and come to Manchester, but look, that's not the be-all and end-all. I think the fight sells out wherever it is up and down the country. I think you get more tickets at the MEN, so why not put it somewhere like that? London. Listen, if we have to go back up to Scotland, so be it.
Going into the first fight, there was a lot of talk about how good you would have to perform, how good your performance would have to be, and how much you'd have to step up to be successful. Going into this fight, how much better do you think you can be from that first fight, because you produced probably your career best display? Many people felt you did enough to win on the night, didn't get the decision, but how much better do you feel you can be in a rematch?
I feel I can be a lot better. I'm maturing, I'm 29 now. I'm in the gym constantly learning, studying, boxing, training, everything I can to be a better fighter, and I think That was my first world title fight, first main event. I thought I handled the occasion well, but I need to get better. I believe I beat him, but I still think there's room for improvement. I still believe the better years are ahead of me now. It's about coming off that last performance, going into round 13 and showing the improvements that I've made in the months in between that fight.
Josh Taylor obviously after the fight said that he can perform better himself if he were to rematch. There was a lot of talk about the weight, whether or not he was dehydrated and struggling a little bit at 140. Do you think he can produce a better performance than what he did in your first fight?
I think he can try different things, approach the fight differently. I don't think he can beat me. I think I've got his number, and I think I beat him in every department. I said that before the last fight, quite confidently. I think he'll have a different approach. I think he'll have excuses from why he didn't box the way he thought he should have in the last fight, but it's going to be the same again.
With Josh vacating the titles, are there any frustrations there on your behalf, Jack? Because like we said, many people felt you'd done enough to be crowned the new undisputed champion at 140, and it didn't happen, and now he's had to vacate to get this fight on. Talk about that, the frustrations that might linger around it, shall we say?
There's no frustrations now. It's been and gone, that moment. It was once in a blue moon type of thing, to challenge the champion for all 4 belts in one swoop, kind of like a domestic clash. That moment won't come, but we fought him, we had the experience of it. We go into a potential rematch with the WBO belt on the line, and still my goal is to be world champion. I believe I can accomplish that, and I'm just excited for it.
Jack, just moving away from yourself, I want to get your thoughts on one other topic, something which has been a big talking point, on Alexander Usyk's win against Anthony Joshua a couple of weeks ago. Firstly, just take me back to the fight. What did you make of his performance, his win?
Yeah, I thought it was a great performance. I think they both adapted from the first fight. Again, like me and Josh will have to do, there'll be certain things that we can watch back and work on. I thought AJ, he boxed better than last time. Again, I think Usyk raised his game as well. It was a good fight.
What did you make of Anthony's post-fight speech?
I didn't make too much of it. He had a bit of a rant. He just showed 12 rounds in the ring, probably a bit concussed. You spend all them hours, all them weeks training, running on your own, sparring, being disciplined, and there's probably a lot of pressure and a lot of feelings and thoughts. And we've seen an outburst, and it happened right after the fight. It wasn't nice to see. I didn't read into it too much. I think I'm more upset for Usyk. It kind of took the shine off him for the moment where he'd just gone on and accomplished what he did. It took the limelight off him, but I think as the dust settles, it'll be forgotten about, and they'll both carry on with their careers.
Right, Jack, we'll leave that there now. I'll leave you to crack on, because I know you've got a few meetings to have before you shoot back off. So thanks for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
Thank you very much, Andy. Nice one.